Welcome to this deep dive. Today, we're exploring something that I think is just profoundly relevant to pretty much everyone listening.
Oh, absolutely. It's universal.
Yeah, it's this incredibly delicate balance between, holding on to a really clear, ambitious vision for your life and then having to navigate a world that just seems custom built to completely disrupt our plans.
Right. It feels like the universe is actively working against you sometimes.
It really does. And our insights today, they're drawn from this brief, but honestly just incredibly powerful article. It's titled, Stay Fixed on Your Vision, but Flexible in How You Get There.
Such a great title. It kind of says it all right there.
It does, but there's so much to unpack.
Hmm.
So the mission of our conversation right now is to extract that core mindset shift from the text. We want to help you, the listener, pursue personal growth or step into a leadership role and secure that long-term success without just falling victim to the sheer frustration of derailed plans.
And that's a critical mission, especially today. I mean, we live in an era of just constant disruption.
Oh, totally. Everything changes so fast.
Right. Whether you're trying to build a career or scale a business or even just hit a personal milestone,
Yeah.
that tension between what we plan to happen and what actually happens, that's a universal source of anxiety.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
It is. But this text gets right to the heart of why we frustrate ourselves so often, and more importantly, how we can systematically dismantle that frustration.
Okay, let's unpack this
Mm.
because I think about it a lot like building a house.
Okay, building a house. I like that.
Yeah, like usually when we talk about construction, there's this expectation of perfect, predictable order, right? You look at an architectural blueprint and it's just pristine.
Perfect, crisp white lines on that dark blue paper.
Exactly. The architect points at a neat little square and says, the kitchen goes right here.
Mm.
And we just love that illusion of total control.
We really do. We want life to be that blueprint.
We do. But then, you buy the plot of land, you step out there in your boots and suddenly it's pouring rain, the soil is pure clay, the lumber shipment is delayed by like 3 weeks.
And that pristine blueprint is just sitting in a puddle of mud.
Right in the mud. That's exactly it.
And that collision between theory and reality, that's exactly where most people just abandon their goals entirely.
Which is wild, right? You don't just stop wanting a house.
Exactly. But the text we're looking at, it opens with this really brilliant observation about human nature.
Yeah.
We set a goal, and our brain immediately constructs one highly specific narrative path to achieve it.
Like step A to step B to step C.
Right. We fuse the destination with the journey in our minds. But the author explicitly points out that life is complex and unpredictable.
Which guarantees obstacles.
It's a 100% guarantee. The complexity of the world ensures that your initial pristine blueprint is just not going to survive contact with reality.
It really reminds me of the difference between a paper map and a GPS.
Oh, that's a good analogy. How so?
Well, we tend to treat our goals like paper maps. If you're using a physical map and you hit a closed road, you're just entirely stuck. You're sitting there looking at this piece of paper like, well, the road is closed. I guess I can't go to the beach.
Right, the trip is canceled.
Exactly. But a GPS doesn't do that. A GPS just says recalculating. It finds a new route based on the exact same destination. And I just have to wonder, why are human beings so prone to that paper map thinking?
What's fascinating here is the psychological cascade the author mentions. When we operate with that rigid mentality, encountering an obstacle triggers severe cognitive dissonance.
Because our brain can't handle the plan failing.
Right. Our brain has fused the what, which is the vision, with the how, the method. So when the method breaks down, our brain falsely signals that the vision itself is impossible.
Oh, wow. So the brain literally tricks you into thinking the goal is dead.
It does. And the text notes that this leads directly to discouragement, which ultimately causes us to just give up on the original outcome completely. We throw away the entire destination simply because one single road was blocked.
That is just, it's tragic, honestly.
Really is.
But I have to be honest here and play devil's advocate for a second.
Go for it.
I understand that conceptually, sure. But when I had a major business project fail a few years ago, having to pivot didn't just feel like I was encountering a blocked road.
It felt personal.
It felt like a massive personal failure. It is incredibly hard to separate your ego from the specific plan you poured your heart into.
Yeah, that is the core friction of behavioral economics right there. We fall victim to the sunk cost fallacy.
Oh, right. Throwing good money after bad.
Exactly. You invest time, money, and your identity into a specific method. If you view yourself as, say, a savvy entrepreneur and your specific startup model fails, your ego, takes a hit.
Because I was the one who made the model.
Right. You perceive it as a failure of self rather than just a failure of a mechanism. But the author's proposed solution is designed specifically to protect your ego from that fatal blow.
Okay, so how do we do that? Because I could use that kind of protection.
Well, the text asks a really provocative question. Who says things have to unfold exactly as anticipated?
Nobody really.
Exactly. The underlying argument is that we must aggressively decouple the ultimate vision from the methods we use to achieve it.
So wait, what does this all mean in practice? If we decouple them, the central thesis becomes remain fiercely committed to the vision while staying endlessly flexible about the methods.
Yes.
But let me challenge that again. Doesn't being flexible in your methods sometimes serve as a polite disguise for just lowering our standards?
That's a really common fear.
Right. It can feel like we're just compromising on our dreams and accepting whatever scraps life hands us. Like, oh, I didn't get what I wanted, so I'll just be flexible and take this lesser thing.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, you have to consider the difference between lowering your standards and changing your tactics.
Okay, break that down for me.
If you lower your standards, you are compromising on the vision itself. Let's say your vision is to create a community garden to provide fresh produce to a food desert in your city.
Okay, great vision. Really clear.
You apply for a permit for a specific empty city lot, and the city denies it.
The roadblock.
Right. If you say, well, I guess I'll just grow a tomato plant on my own balcony, you have lowered the standard of the vision. You compromise the what?
Yeah, you shrank the goal to fit the obstacle.
Precisely. You made the vision smaller so it wouldn't hurt as much. But flexible execution means the standard of the vision remains absolute.
You still want that community garden.
Exactly. You still want it. So you go find a different lot. Or you partner with a local school to use their land. Or you organize a rooftop gardening coalition.
Oh, I see. The method completely shifts, but the vision remains untouched.
Untouched. And when you separate the two like that, a failed method becomes nothing more than data.
Just data. I like that.
Yeah, it just tells you that the city lot is a closed road. It is not a defeat of the ultimate vision.
That reframing that a failed method is just data, not a defeat, is so powerful. But I imagine it requires a very intentional strategy to actually implement in real life.
Yeah, it does. It's not just positive thinking.
Right, because the author doesn't just leave us with this abstract philosophy, right? They ground this in a highly specific, practical case study about money.
Yes, the financial scenario they outline is a perfect stress test for this mindset.
Let's put some hard numbers to this for the listener, because here's where it gets really interesting.
Let's hear it.
The source provides a hypothetical scenario where your clear vision is to earn an extra £60,000 this year.
A very solid, measurable goal. The destination is locked in.
Exactly. So the goal is locked in. Now, the author lists 6 distinct pathways to reach that single destination.
6 completely different roads.
Right. Number 1, start a side hustle.
Yeah.
Number 2, ask for a raise and work extra hours. Number 3, apply for a higher paying role.
Okay, that's 3.
Number 4, invest in stocks and shares. Number 5, start a business. And number 6, invest in an existing profitable venture.
What jumps out about that list immediately is the strategic diversification of resources.
Yeah, they aren't just minor tweaks of the same idea.
No, not at all. They're not just 6 slight variations of the same action. They require entirely different types of leverage.
That is exactly what I was looking at, like asking for a raise and working extra hours. That relies entirely on your current employer's budget and your own physical stamina.
Right. It's a time and labor equation.
Exactly. But investing in stocks and shares, that requires 0 extra daily labor from you. But it demands existing capital and a tolerance for market risk.
Completely different resource.
And starting a brand new business demands immense creative energy and carries a high risk of failure. Whereas investing in an existing profitable venture leans on someone else's proven operational success.
You're attacking the exact same 60,000-pound vision from completely different angles.
Using totally different psychological and physical resources.
And for anyone listening, building a list like this for your own goals that creates a massive emotional and practical safety net.
How so?
Well, by brainstorming deeply diverse methods, you're actively protecting your vision from the unpredictability of life.
Right, because life is going to throw that mud on the blueprint.
Exactly. Imagine you lock into path number 2 as your only option. You decide to ask your boss for a raise, you build your case, you walk into the office, and your boss informs you that company policy has frozen all salary increases due to a quarterly downturn.
Oof. The door is locked. The on-rails video game just ended.
Game over. And if that was your only plan, the cognitive dissonance kicks in hard. You feel rejected, your ego is bruised, and you just abandon the 60,000-pound vision entirely.
Because you think, well, my boss said no, so I guess I can't make more money.
Right. But because you have decoupled the vision from the method, and you have this diversified portfolio of tactics, that no from your boss is simply a data point.
Method 2 is closed. Recalculating.
Exactly. You pivot immediately. You look at method 1, starting a side hustle. You look at method 3, applying for a higher paying role at a competitor.
So the destination is entirely intact. It's just a matter of reallocating your resources. Like, since my interpersonal leverage at my current job failed, I'll just shift to utilizing my creative energy in a side hustle. The failure doesn't sting the same way because I haven't exhausted all my vectors of attack.
That is the actual architecture of resilience. It's the ability to absorb a systemic shock to your plan without letting it shake your commitment to your outcome.
You're insulating your ego.
You insulate your ego by spreading your execution risk across multiple distinct methods.
Okay, but there is another layer to this that the author tackles, and it might be the most difficult variable for us to manage.
Oh, I know where you're going with this. Time.
Yes, time. Even if you have a brilliant portfolio of methods, and even if you seamlessly pivot from asking for a raise to starting a side hustle, the sheer complexity of life might still delay your success.
It almost certainly will.
Right, you might not hit that 60,000-pound mark in exactly 12 months.
And the dimension of time is where our flexibility is truly tested to its absolute limit.
We hate waiting.
We despise it. We are often willing to change our tactics, try a new method, but we fiercely guard our timelines.
It's so true. But the author writes these final directives in the text. And if you don't reach your target this year, keep going next year. Never give up.
And on the surface, that just sounds like a standard motivational platitude, like something on a poster.
Hang in there.
Right. But beneath it is a radical challenge to how we construct our sense of self-worth.
We absolutely sabotage ourselves with arbitrary, rigid deadlines.
We do.
We say things like, I must get this promotion by my 30th birthday, or I have to hit this revenue goal by the end of Q4. We anchor our entire definition of success to a literal trip around the sun.
This raises an important question, though.
What's that?
Why? Why does December 31st hold so much psychological power over a goal that might fundamentally require 18 months to achieve?
That is a great question. Why do we let the calendar dictate our sense of failure?
It stems from societal framing, honestly, and our inherent desire for neat narrative arcs. We are conditioned by 30 under 30 lists and quarterly earnings reports to view speed as the ultimate metric of competence.
Oh, wow. Speed equals competence.
That's the trap. If we don't achieve the vision within the initial arbitrary time frame, the sunk cost fallacy kicks in again. We feel that extending the deadline makes us a failure, so we abandon the goal rather than endure the perceived humiliation of taking longer than expected.
It is absolute madness when you really break it down.
It is.
Like if your goal was to make an extra 60,000 pounds and it takes you 2 years, let's say earning 30,000 pounds extra the first year and 30,000 pounds extra the second year, you still achieve the vision.
The money spends exactly the same.
Right. But because we stubbornly refuse to be flexible with time, we often declare the vision dead the very moment the original deadline passes.
And that's why adapting your time frame is just another manifestation of being flexible in your execution. Time is merely a resource.
Just like capital or labor.
Exactly. The author's closing sentiment captures this beautifully. Be unwavering in your vision, but adaptable in how you bring it to life. The how intrinsically includes the when.
It has to.
It does. Escaping the tyranny of the calendar is perhaps the most liberating application of this entire philosophy.
It releases the pressure valve completely. You just stop fighting the clock and start focusing entirely on the mechanics of the goal itself.
Yes.
Let's take a step back and look at the whole journey of today's deep dive.
Let's do it.
We started by recognizing the trap of rigid paper map thinking, where we imagine one specific path and let the inevitable complexities of life trigger that cognitive dissonance, causing us to abandon our goals entirely.
And we then explored the primary defense mechanism against that trap, which is aggressively decoupling your ultimate vision from the methods used to get there.
Right, separating the what from the how.
Exactly. You place your vision up on a pedestal, and you allow your methods to get muddy. A failed method becomes data, not a defeat of your identity.
And we saw how that practically plays out with the 60,000-pound case study. By brainstorming multiple deeply diverse pathways relying on different combinations of time, capital, and risk, You build a psychological safety net.
If one road closes, you have 5 others ready to go.
Yep. And finally, we unpack the importance of temporal flexibility. Just escaping the societal pressure of arbitrary deadlines and realizing that extending your timeline is just another valid form of pivoting.
And for you listening right now, the overarching takeaway from this text is really a profound validation of the messy process of growth.
It's always messy.
It is. The path to any meaningful success, whether that's in leadership, financial independence, personal development, it's never a straight line. It will demand that you recalculate your route constantly.
Like the GPS.
Exactly like the GPS. But your adaptability is your ultimate advantage. When the road inevitably closes, you do not have to abandon your destination. You simply find another way. You have the tools to navigate the complexity without losing your vision.
Which leaves you with one final thought to mull over as you go about your day. We've spent this time discussing how to survive life's unpredictability and how to pivot when your plans fail. But consider this perspective.
Okay.
If life is truly as complex and unpredictable as the source claims, is it possible that those unexpected obstacles and forced detours aren't just annoyances?
Oh, I like where this is going.
Could those very disruptions actually lead you to an even better, more rewarding version of your vision than your original specific path ever could have?
Wow.
Maybe that pristine architectural blueprint wasn't actually the best house you could build. Maybe you needed the mud, the delays, and the recalculations to figure out what you truly wanted in the first place. Keep your vision fixed. Let the plan evolve. We'll catch you on the next Deep Dive.